Hello and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy
to Lexapro.
Whoa, and we are back at YCP, but we are joined by the lovely, the beautiful, the truly astonishingly stunning Taylor.
Amen.
Thank you, ladies.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
what an
intro.
Thank you.
I'm so excited
Can
to
you
be here
tell
with
us
you.
about you?
I'm Taylor.
That's it.
Amen. That's all
We
you guys
love
need
it,
to know.
Taylor. Big Taylor Swift fans over here.
Yes.
I've come back around on her.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
The
excited to
last
hear more
year did
about
it
that
for me.
journey.
The last
Yeah.
year, the
Yeah.
life of the showgirl, did that get you in? Or just kind of the whole journey?
I think I'll probably maybe dip out one more time and come back. But
Okay.
She knows herself. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really fair.
I started paying attention when she started dating Travis Kelce. I
Amen.
100% thought it was fake.
Yes.
Like I would have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I thought it was a PR thing. But then they kind of grew on me.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then I started playing her music again. And,
Yeah.
you know.
kind of
Carry on.
circling back.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, tell us about the Taylor in the room with us.
Okay.
What do you think we need to know about you before we ask you some very pointed questions about your career?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I'm Taylor. This is home for me, Dallas, Texas.
Yes.
Technically Fort Worth. So make sure
Amen.
to throw that in. But I have a dating app. It's called Candid. And we introduce Catholic singles to one another face to face so they don't have to do the swiping.
Okay, I love that
Yes.
concept.
Thank you.
We are known on this podcast to talk about how horrific it is for people to find each other in the
it
modern
is.
era,
It's
especially
dog
for
eat dog
Catholic
out
people.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
it's not it. And I got out real early, which was a blessing. But Julianna and Chanel are so very in the thick of it, and so I, pray for them daily. We're offering it up out here,
It is rough.
because it is tough. So I want to hear about your strategy. I mean, let's just jump right in.
Okay.
Before we get to the strategy, tell us the origin story. How did you
Yes.
get to wanting to make a Catholic app? How did that fall into place?
Yeah, I didn't tell much about me.
Yeah. She's like, no, I have this app, and that's all I want to talk about. Do you
No,
want to
no.
share more about yourself? 'Cause we
Yeah,
would love-
so growing up, I'm a coach's
Here we
kid.
go.
My dad was a football coach. I married a football coach. That is the only
cute.
life I have ever
Stop,
known
that's
is
Oh
a
my gosh, your
football
life
life.
is a Hallmark movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It can be sometimes, you
I
know?
love that.
Yeah, and so I
A
went
Texas
to college.
football coach. This is
Wow.
very show.
Friday Night
I know it's giving
Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
My husband is
Are
Friday
you
Night
Tammy
Lights, let
Taylor?
me just say.
Are you Tammy Taylor?
Our life could look like that sometimes.
Oh, I'm
I think
obsessed.
that's the best comparison.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a good time. That was me. That was all I knew.
Oh, okay.
Gosh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, and I went to college. I worked in football at Texas Tech, so that was a lot of fun.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then got engaged out of college to a guy that I was dating in college. We graduated and got engaged, and we're planning our life, and then called the wedding off. And that's terrible. If you've ever done that,
Wow.
props
Oh,
to you.
terrible.
And you called
Oh my
it
gosh.
off. Good for
That's
you for
hard.
knowing your worth.
Thank you. Yeah. It was over matters of the faith, actually, since we're talking
So
about
hard.
it.
Yes, of
Mhm.
course.
So that made it kind of even. I'm not going to say that made it harder because it's always hard, but
Yeah.
that was a really excruciating experience. Like I would never wish that on anyone, but the Lord was there with me, and it was a really beautiful time in my life
Yeah.
because I was able to experience such a deep wound, like a deep heartbreak, and then take that to the foot of the cross and just sit with our Lord there, because there was literally nowhere else to go.
Wow.
Totally.
Yeah. And so I started dating again after kind of that, after that experience, and kind of like what you said, I was like, this is awful. This is terrible.
Yeah.
I hated it. I did not. I downloaded the apps. I undownloaded, like I deleted them. It was,
Been there.
I saved some after we started building Candid, which I know I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I saved some, like I screenshotted some of the messages that I would get.
Oh, that's
just for
good, yeah.
motivation. Like if I ever
Yeah, that's good.
wanted to come back
That's
to them
it.
and like remind myself how terrible they were.
Well, if you want to be reminded again, I can fill you in.
No,
She
Yeah.
could open up
Okay.
her hinge because we were looking before, and it truly is the depths of despair.
It is
But
tough out there.
I will say there are people who have found their spouse through the
Totally.
dating apps. So it's
Totally.
like
yeah.
they're not
There are
100%
exceptions.
bad, evil, like
No.
horrible.
No, absolutely.
No.
But I
Yeah.
think the longer we've had that experience, like we've had that path, right? Like the swipe culture, and as long as we keep, that model and that it's like commoditizing one another, right? Like grasping the dopamine hit that we get whenever someone likes us or we get a message or whatever. We can keep going back to it. We don't have to commit, but we know that maybe there's like a like sitting in our app.
Sure.
That's such a good point.
Anyway, it's just created really bad habits.
Yes.
And so some people it's worked for and it's been beautiful and great. And I have friends that have met through the apps, but then for some people it's rough. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point. So when did you know you wanted to like help create something different?
Yeah. So once I started, like I said, I started using the apps. I deleted them right away. And I started an Instagram account. And this kind of was like a two-parter. So part of creating, it was called Candid Communion. And part of that was because I wanted to meet other like-minded Catholics who were in the same stage of life at me, same stage of life as me.
Girl.
Yep.
And I think calling off a wedding over, like, specifically for us, like over matters of the faith.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. And like, I grew up with, like I said, my dad was a coach. So we grew up in public school. So most of my friends are Protestant and they're really awesome Christian people. But maybe don't understand quite like what the big deal is about not being aligned in the way that you want to raise your kids.
Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
And so I created Candid Communion to meet other women who maybe like saw that as just a big, like, as important as I did.
Yeah.
But then also I just, I wanted to show the world that you can be young and fun and single and Catholic. And I wanted to share my faith with others. And so after I started posting on that account and it started to grow, guys and girls both would be, you know, I'd meet them and I'd host meetups and everyone would say, there are no Catholic singles out here. There are no men, there are no women, like there's no one that exists. And I agreed before I started Candid Communion, but then I was able to see, like, actually there are a lot of people out there that are looking for their spouse.
Yeah.
And so had this crazy idea. It was still COVID times. Like, I think California was like still literally like in lockdown. And I said, why don't we just introduce everybody face to face and let them talk? Like, we don't have to make it a big thing. Let's just put everybody in a room and see what happens and see if good conversation can come from this or whatever. And so that is, that's what I did. That's what we did. My friend and I, his name's Nathan. He's now, his wife is my co-founder, Mariana. But that's how it started. And it kind of just went from there.
That's so
awesome.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So where in this process did you meet your husband?
Yes. I met him before and I didn't realize it. So I had just started Candid Communion. It was summer of 2020 and my little brother was going to a football camp and my husband Logan was his trainer. Had been training him.
Precious.
So we had seen each other before, but never spoken, never been introduced. And so I went to watch my little brother Colby, and Logan was there, and he came up and introduced himself. And I think we dated for exactly 12 months, officially maybe like 6. But yeah, it was pretty quick with us.
That is so cute.
Thanks. He's the best. He's the greatest.
Oh,
That is so sweet. I love.
Thanks. I'll talk about him all day.
Yes.
Okay, don't
love.
mind. I love what you said about kind of people feeling like there's no good Catholic men, there's no good Catholic women out there. Nobody's in the same stage of like searching. We have said multiple times on this podcast that there are like 4 good Catholic men left in the world. And slowly over the past 3 years of hosting this podcast, I feel like we've like been like, oh, maybe 5, maybe there's 6. You know,
They're out there.
And yeah,
They are out there.
They
They're
need
out
to
there.
come from under the rock. But it's really cool to like hear you say that and experience that, because I do think what you're doing is like showing that and like, you know, broadcasting that to people that like they are, and there are people who want to meet in an intentional, like unobjectifying way, which I think is super beautiful. And so I love that you're highlighting that, because it does feel sometimes like there's not that community.
Yeah, and I understand that, and I think that's why one of the reasons that I like our model at Candid is because there's kind of a natural barrier to entry. If you're not intentional, why would you want to sign up to talk to 5 people face to face?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's so much easier to sit behind the app and like the
And hide.
routine.
Yeah.
But if you are willing to put your face out there and
Yeah.
like actually meet people in real time, you have to have some kind of intentionality. And so
Yeah.
I like that there's a natural barrier to entry for what we do at Candid.
That is really cool. So tell us, like, if our listener, we have lots of single women listeners. So if they're out there and are like thinking about downloading Candid, but are like, ugh, I just like can't do the apps anymore or whatever. Tell us about the process, the beginning process, what's different, what your hopes are for people, the whole situation.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason that this started wasn't because I didn't wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to create an app. Like, like dating app. The Lord couldn't have picked someone more. Like if you know me, you know that this is totally a labor of love.
Yeah.
But what do you experience on Candid? So you'll go through a series of onboarding questions, and that's the way that we get to know you. And then once your account is approved, you will see a list of events that you can sign up for with people who would be compatible to you. So our best event, like our most attended event, is always our nationwide event. Some people don't like that we have nationwide events, but they keep signing up for them, so we will keep hosting them for
There you go. Yeah.
So you can meet someone nationwide. We have regional events, so you can meet people, around you. And then we're really trying to host more city specific events. So you can meet people like in Atlanta or wherever you live.
Nice.
So whenever you sign up for one of our dates or our events in real time, you log on and you will meet 5 to 7 Catholic singles for 5 to 7 minutes at a time. So just like on a Zoom call per se, you can talk to someone and we will guide you through the whole experience. So every conversation you have, after the conversation, you can select whether you'd like to match with that person or not. And then if both parties say that they like to match, we give you an opportunity to message and continue the conversation. And then we ask you to take it offline, go meet in person.
That makes sense.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So we have some new features coming too that we're really excited about. They'll be released. I don't know how much I can say about them, but they'll be released here in hopefully about 30 days. But the goal is to really enhance your match experience. So really refine those matches that we're introducing you to.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that.
That's
That
awesome.
is super cool.
Yeah.
And outside of like the events, is there just like matching with people that happens?
Yes. So if you're a subscriber, we have a Candid Connections feature. And so that is our way of matching you kind of behind the scenes and then introducing you to people that we think you would be compatible with. You still have to video date. So you have a couple of messages that you can send back and forth to schedule a video date, but we are pro face-to-face conversations. So we really want you to talk face-to-face.
That is so cool. Well, obviously, I'm not on these apps, but Julianna is on these apps and now is a Candid subscriber. So I want to hear from you, Julianna, as of today. As a single girly out there looking, how do you feel like hearing this, hearing the differences? How does it sound?
Oh, yeah. Great question. It sounds cool because I have taken kind of like a hiatus from dating apps, and it's been like a very recent development within like the last 2 days where I've gone back on dating apps to see just what's out there, just because I am very busy like with work and everything. I'm like, well, I feel like I'm in a good place where it would be ideal just to look, where I'm not desperate by any means. So I feel like there's pretty low stake in the game right now because I am just like very comfortable where I'm at, but I don't want to get too comfortable in that at the same time.
Best time to look.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
So I was like, now seems like a mentally healthy time to look. So I am excited to hear more because I was telling my roommate this literally last night. I was like, I just have no investment in these people who are messaging me. And now I just don't have a lot of time to message people. Like, I don't have time to message people during the day. And then it's at night. And I'm like, I just don't know who they are. And I'm like, do I want to sacrifice my free time for someone who I don't know that it might not actually work out with? So I do like that you can just meet someone, because I would much rather do that. And you can get a much better feeling within like a 5-minute conversation.
So true.
Yeah.
I love that feedback. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's a
of
really
course.
good.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you too. And we talk to our users all the time. But I love like sitting here with you, hearing that in real time is amazing. So that's
girl
good.
time.
Yeah, love it. Good.
That is so cool. Okay, how long has Candid been out? First question.
We launched on the web in 2024. Hey. We launched on the web in 2024. And that was really exciting. It was just a website that we ran. So same process, but it was on the web. And then we went to Seek in 2025 when we were in Salt Lake City, and we met Gen Z. And Gen Z said, this is cool. If it's not in the App Store, I don't care.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So we said, okay. So we released an app version this past October. And then started taking subscriptions in November. So used to you would pay for one event at a time.
Sure.
But now we give you 2 events for a subscription price. So I think people like that a little bit better.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
So
really
the app's
awesome.
been live since October of this year.
And
Or
how
of
has like
2020.
the feedback been? Have you heard of any couples that have gotten together? What's that been like?
Yes, it's been great. We did just have a couple that submitted their review, like their testimony. They got engaged about a month ago, maybe.
That is so
And
cute.
so
We
I love
better
it.
invite you to that wedding.
It's insane to get invited to weddings from couples who have met through Candid. Like I will never get,
cool.
that will never be not incredible to me. The fact that the Lord has allowed us to play like a piece of sand part, like a speck of dust in these people's lives
That's so
is
cool.
incredible. And I'm so
That's
grateful that we get, and they think about us, right? Like obviously
Yeah.
for data purposes, we want to track that kind of stuff, but for them to reach out and
Yes.
want us to be part of their day is absolutely the most humbling, beautiful thing ever. So
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think people very much like the app version better just because it's on your phone. You could be anywhere. You don't have to be on your laptop. You don't have to
Yeah.
be at your computer. Millennials sometimes will still log on to the web
Of course,
version.
we love
I probably
a
will do
physical thing
that.
in front of
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no, because it doesn't count if you're not sitting at your computer.
No, 100%.
That
But-
seems like a computer task.
Yeah.
It is like booking a flight.
That's not what my phone's for.
Yeah.
Okay.
phone is not for that. But you can take Candid on the go. You can be wherever you want to be.
That's so cool.
with the app. So yeah.
I love that so much. Tell me more about your Seek events.
Seek is so much fun. I love
So
Seek.
cute.
So we go and we host an event in person. So we do the
Sweet.
live, what we do in the virtual. And so when we went to Salt Lake, our goal was to break the world record for largest speed dating event. And so
I
we
love it.
planned it with focus. And we said, we're going to break the world record. I can't remember what the record was at the time, but in between the time that we had planned it and Seek was, the Church of Latter-day Saints broke the record, that largest speed dating record in the Salt Palace, which was where the Seek event was going to be that year. And so now we're going into the Salt Palace in Salt Lake City
Yeah.
as Catholics at Seek
Trying to break it.
their record. So there was, it was really fun.
Yes.
But it's just a lighthearted way to show people like, this is what we're offering you. This is what experience we're
Yeah.
trying to give you online, but
That's so
make
cool.
it fun and something that everybody wants to be a part of. And so we did break the record the first time.
Yes,
The
Nice.
girl.
fire marshal did get called, which
That
I read
makes
that as a
sense.
badge of
Honestly,
honor.
heck yeah.
That's, yeah.
And I was just said, I think he's here because he heard that we were going to break their record and he didn't want that to happen. So he tried to
That's so true. He was like, shut it down.
Logan was like, do not talk to him, please. I called him out on stage
That's
and I had
so-
everyone give him a round of applause. And Logan was like,
That is so funny.
I'm a coach was good. Like,
Yeah,
we're
of
competitive.
course. Mm-hmm.
But that was really fun. And so, yeah, the whole
so
part
fun.
of that, we just like to go meet the people, meet our users, meet our potential users, get to hear real feedback, see how
Yeah.
they interact in person. We've learned so much about Gen Z by just being with them and
Yeah.
also the young professionals.
Yeah.
And so it's so fun to go and be able to serve them. And so we did it again this past Seek and we broke our first record. So that was 2,500 singles that we had attending that
Oh
event.
my
And
gosh.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
so
So
fun.
cute.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So what does that matching process look like on site?
With that many people.
Yeah.
It's a lot. We don't sleep while we're at Seek.
No,
I
I wouldn't think
relate to
so.
that.
Yeah.
We don't sleep. What's
Yeah.
interesting is I think it's like a known thing that there are more Catholic women than men in the dating pool, right?
Yes.
So like
Sure.
men specifically in the Catholic world have it better than any other, than the secular world because
Yeah.
there are more
Yeah.
of us than there are of them. And that's usually reversed. Like if you walk into any bar, there's
Totally.
always more men
Yeah.
than women.
Yeah.
And so we have to work especially hard to get in front of the men just because there are less of them. And so, yeah, we take signups before the event. So we like start signups
That's smart.
maybe like a little bit before Christmas. Seek is
Okay.
New Year's. It starts New Year's Day.
Yeah.
And so we always are monitoring kind of like depending on the location that people, we try our best to do it either by like region and school kind of, but not introduce you to people that you came here with.
Yeah.
That is
then
so impressive amount of like calculation.
It's not
That
perfect. Let me
wow.
tell you.
Yeah,
and
but
there are
it's
people
still
that remind
so
me
cool.
every
Do you
year.
enjoy Christmas?
these people have to
or no?
Not so much.
This year I made myself. Like I think we did enough leading up to it where I let myself
That's
enjoy
so
the day because
good,
that's important and I wasn't willing to sacrifice that, to be honest. But,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's good boundary.
Yeah.
thanks.
Yes.
Things
pop
boundary.
off.
Someone who is
You know what,
trying
girl?
to have work
Yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. It's hard,
out
but
here.
it's so fun and it's not perfect. There are, we do our best to match, like I said, people by their age, location, to actually introduce them to people that they would want to talk to again. And for us, Seek is also really rewarding because on Candid, we can see when people make a match, but at Seek, we see them live. Like we see him approach her and ask her to coffee, or we like have the girls coming back to our booth afterwards
so
and saying
rewarding.
like, he asked for my number. Yeah, it is.
That's so
because
cute.
we put so much pressure on ourselves, especially as Catholics, because marriage is a sacrament and that's heavy and that is important and it should be, right? Like that is properly ordered that we hold the sacrament of marriage in the weight that we do. However, dating is supposed to be fun. Like
we do suck the fun right out of it.
Absolutely.
We do. Yeah. And it's not do or die. Every conversation is not do or die. And we treat it like that. And we put so much pressure on the first conversation and think that we have to have it all figured out before we even approach someone.
No.
And I want everyone to know, and that's why I think it's so fun at Seek, that like this is dating. Like dating is getting to know someone.
Totally.
You don't,
So
it's
true.
not,
You don't have to have it all figured out.
correct.
Yes,
And you're not
absolutely.
using someone, right?
Yes.
Like if you ask them out and you don't know where it's going to go, like
That's
I
okay.
think we can get some of that kind of twisted.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to try to be prudent and intention. And
Yep.
I believe that. However, you have to enjoy the person that you're going to be dating and then potentially marrying for the rest of your life. So like, let's start it off fun and lighthearted.
Yes,
That's so
absolutely.
true.
I always
I
say
love
the
that.
goal of a first date is just to have fun.
It is.
I feel like I can tell like within like 20 minutes if I'm going to be able to have fun with you or not. And I just, because people do put way too much pressure.
Yeah.
I've heard of someone who pulled out a list of 25 questions,
Immediately no.
printed it off, handed it to her first date. Yeah.
What would you have
Can
done?
you answer these questions?
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
what would you have done if that was you?
Oh, that's a good
Would
question.
you have answered them?
I think I would be like, hey, so this is kind of a lot. I would love to potentially answer these down the road, but for now, can we just have fun?
What if we just talk?
Or what if we just like talked one-on-one?
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Thank you.
So true.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of how I would. I mean,
know.
it's so
What do
awkward.
you
And
do
you
with
know
that?
when you're being interviewed, right? Like, you know when
Yes.
you sit down and you feel like they're just here
They're just
to
like
check,
grilling
check,
you.
check.
Yes.
Yeah, stop. Ew.
And they're like,
it's
I'm
weird.
not. It's like, so
Yeah,
that's
like,
a
we're
different
not
way
having
to
an organic-
objectify.
It's so true.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear what your vibe is. Like we talk about this quite a bit about the effects of like cancel culture and like the ick on dating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are so quick. We just had a conversation with one of our friends who's like, other friends were like, you shouldn't date that person. They did like one little thing and we're like, that is not a red flag.
Yeah.
But I feel like girls specifically kind of like rally around and are like, oh, he did one thing. Like it's a no. And they like really, and I was talking, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast or just to Chanel.
you did.
Maybe I did. Just about like, if I would have done that and if cancel culture would have been so heavy and like the ick when Stephen and I started dating, I don't know if I would have married him. Like there was probably little things that I would have been like, ew, and like told my friends, then we all would have been like, ew. And like,
And collectively
like,
decided.
we're done.
Yeah.
Even though like we've been married for 10 years and we're like so happy and everything's so, and so it is really interesting. So I'm curious what you see as like that trend.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who have kind of those viewpoints would think that I'm so liberal in that way. And I don't mean liberal like politically.
Yeah.
But just we more than ever, like now, everyone is under a microscope. There's already added
so
pressure.
True.
These men. Okay, I work in football, right?
Yes.
So I work in
I
an
love it.
office.
She's literally
full
the
of-
coolest woman alive.
Literally
like,
obsessed.
When I was in college, that was during the Me Too movement, and I've literally seen these men get their careers ripped away from them on false accusations, which is really heavy, and we don't need to get into that topic. But
Totally,
just, like,
yeah.
I've
see what you're
seen the way
saying.
that affects people. And so when we sit around and use our, like have a ruler that we measure every single person with, and then when they don't measure up in one little area, we, think that they don't deserve a conversation or like to be, I'm just not, we're all human. And I think if someone were, I always or when I was dating, I would compare the way that I was judging the man by like, would he extend that same judgment to me? Like, what would that look like, right? Like, because we don't like to talk about if roles were reversed.
Totally.
Especially as women.
Yeah.
And we would expect to have grace.
We would.
In the same caliber.
Because you're just doing your best and you deserve. I'm so sick of seeing the word deserve.
Yes.
Like, I'm so
Girl,
sick
you're
of,
so
oh my
right.
gosh. We're told, like, we tell, it's all over Instagram, or if you look at TikTok or whatever, it's like, girl, you deserve this and you deserve, and first of all, we don't.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few things that we deserve, sure.
Yeah.
But like for a man to be A, B, C, D, just like from the jump, and we expect him to be like, another one that we see a lot is like, you expect him to show up as your father. Like the first time you meet him, you're measuring him to your dad.
Yeah.
And your dad, like, I have a great relationship with my dad. I am so blessed that my dad is the man that he is, because I'm just, that could be a whole other podcast episode. But like, we judge these men maybe based on the way that our dads treated our mom, right? And like, my dad was 20 once. And he's probably a lot different at 50 than he was at 20.
It's
totally
so fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things that I just said there, but I agree with you too.
No, I think it's
absolutely.
so valid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, that's so fair. And I almost feel like in some ways, when I was younger, especially when I was in high school, I feel like it was a lot of like the guys would talk, like locker room talk or whatever talk, and be like, oh, this girl or that girl, and kind of like rip girls apart. And I feel like kind of our generation is now like, well, you know what? We're going to do it to you. And like Gen Z is too. And like now it's like girls will all get together and like kind of nitpick. And it's like, well, that's not really the goal either. Like I think we're being a little extreme with like the way we tear people apart and don't give them grace. And like, I think people want a partner, like when they start dating, to already be the person they want to be married to for the rest of their life. And like, there's a lot of growth and change, like to your comment about your dad, and like iron sharpens iron, and like a spouse sharpens a spouse, and like you make each other better, and that's the goal. So like you don't want someone like perfect right out the jump, but I feel like people put that pressure on it now.
I think they do. And I think we can idolize that too, right? Like we can make an idol out of who we think our boyfriend, fiance, husband should be and what that should look like. And then we create this image in our head. And if this human, this very flawed, broken human in front of us doesn't live up to that model that we have created in our head, then it's, no go. And that's not fair or right. So
yeah, it's so true.
I'm definitely in that camp.
Yeah. I love that. What would be your biggest advice to single ladies and the small handful, maybe one, single men who might listen to this?
I would say keep putting yourself out there. I know we feel like we do it all the time, and I know that it's annoying and hard, and I get it, because there's some days that you're like, I don't want to have to do that anymore. I just want to like meet the person I'm supposed to be with and like move on. But you have to, like, it can be fun, and it doesn't always have to be. I think whenever it starts to get really heavy is whenever we start to put that pressure that we were talking about on ourselves. Like, yes, singleness at times can be a cross, right? But we can add to like the pressure that we feel whenever we think that it has to be do or die. And I'm not saying that every woman does that, but I definitely think that like bringing the lightheartedness back and like the opportunity, like I get to get dressed up and like go and flirt a little bit and like meet a guy for a drink or a coffee or whatever, like it's like being a girl. We were just talking before this started. Being a girl is fun.
It's
like,
so fun to be a girl.
It should be so
I love, wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yes.
So
and
fun.
So I think enjoy the time period that you're in of being single. And then for the men, keep approaching the women.
Yes.
And women, be approachable. We think we're approachable and we're not.
Yeah.
Like we really aren't. Like if I think about my Nana and like the way that she talks about the way that she was whenever they were growing up, like they were so flirty and mysterious, and like we are very just by culture, right? Like we're hard and we're masculine a lot of the times. Like we,
that's fair.
and we're maybe fearful for like, whatever, the unknown. And so I think we close ourselves off and we don't always show that openness. And I think the men pick up on that, and sometimes they don't want to approach us, but I think men keep approaching and women be approachable.
I love that.
That's good.
That's so cute. Thank you so much for everything you shared.
Thank you.
I have a question that's the most important question we've asked you all day.
Okay.
This is what the people need to know. This is what they want to know. And that is, what song are you most excited to hear Justin Bieber play at Coachella tonight?
All of them.
All of them.
All
the
of them.
whole
He just
discography.
deserves
Everything.
this stage. He deserves
Amen.
this
He
moment.
does.
And I want him to take it and what? Okay. But I don't know. I haven't thought about what single song. I mean, his Grammy performance was like
Yukon.
Tears.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
and I
it
didn't
was
even really
so
care
good.
for that song.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
So
really like
good.
the song before.
But stripped
But
down,
him just being
it was
himself, quite literally
incredible.
stripped down.
Quite literally.
Do you think he will wear
a work of art.
more clothes at Coachella than he did at the Grammys?
I hope.
Or do you think this is the era he's entering?
Great question. I think he'll be wearing more clothes.
Okay.
But I would just love to see him like remember that he's Justin Bieber and
Yes.
He's all
like
that.
is his own genre of like
Yes.
he does no
So
wrong in my
true.
eyes.
I love
It's
it.
so true. I did see
Yeah.
a video of his rehearsal. I don't think it was supposed to be leaked, but
Ooh.
what are you going to do? And he did have at least pants on. I can't remember if he had a shirt on, but there were pants. And he was like kind of jumping around and dancing a little. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
Are
I
y'all staying
really
up?
need to see him moving.
Are you
in
gonna
a-
stay up for the live stream?
What time is it at? 'Cause
Apparently like 2:30 our time.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely
barely
not.
awake right now.
Same.
But I did hear it's 90 minutes.
I look forward
Like, it's
to seeing
gonna
the
be a
videos on
full
Instagram
thing.
tomorrow.
Me too. I will watch it through all of those influencers that are there. Like
It's
the ones in the
so
front row, so that I
true.
can just
Yes.
like personally pick.
I'm really happy for him.
Me too.
He really deserves this. What is your favorite musician? Favorite kind of music? Is it just Justin Bieber? Because also respect.
My favorite. I've always been a country girl.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
just, like, country
Okay, what
music girl.
kind? That's
Well,
an
we have
eclectic
Texas
statement.
country here. We have like
Sure.
red
Okay, yes.
Texas
Mhm.
country.
Fair.
And my husband is very, he's very diverse in the music that he listens to. And now
Okay.
usually I just listen to whatever he has on in the car.
That's nice.
Fair.
Okay, I'll give you a wild one. There's this band
Please.
called Ocean Alley.
Okay.
They're like an Australian reggae. This is so funny. 'cause it's
Okay,
like-
she's
love
not
you.
niche. She's
but
not like
they're
other
so
girls.
cool.
No,
Look
I
them
know,
up.
she's so different.
No, it's all Logan. He's way cooler than me. But he introduced me.
Cute.
We've seen them twice now, but we danced to one of their songs at our wedding,
so
and no one knew them.
Cute.
So like nobody joined us. So it was just like
No, but that's okay. It makes you
Yeah.
so much cooler.
Intimate.
he's the cool one. But
Oh,
check
That's
out
that
Ocean
marriage
Alley.
humility. That's
I
what
know,
that is
she's
right there.
so cute. That's
we have
so
fun.
sweet.
We have a lot of fun.
That's so
So
sweet.
yeah, that's probably not. I mean, but yeah, the Biebs is of course country, but I don't know. You know, you see those videos that pop up of like throwbacks, like Lil Wayne throwbacks, or like
Yeah.
Never forget your youth.
you can't.
That's
Amen.
the lesson.
Also,
And
I had
we're
no
like
clue
the
what I
same
was-
age.
Yeah.
So like the 2008 to 2012 music must live on forever. Like it
I do
is-
agree with that.
It's
Yeah.
so
Amen.
good.
Should.
It's so good.
Should.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just adore this. If you could only watch one Disney Channel original movie for the
Hannah
rest of your
Montana.
life,
Oh,
heck
movie.
yes.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah, no, but honestly, the Hannah Montana movie,
Yeah.
so good. Did you
Yeah.
watch the reunion?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
It's on Hulu, right?
Yeah,
That's
Hulu,
why.
Disney
Yes, I
Plus,
think so. And
and
Disney
stuff.
Plus,
I'll give
yeah.
you my login. Do you
Thank
not
you.
have a login? Okay,
No, I
I'll
don't.
text
She'll
it
give
to
you the code that it'll ask for when you're
It's
not
gonna
in
be
her
the most
neighborhood.
annoying thing you've ever experienced, but we'll make it
It's fine.
happen for you. Yeah,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
And then I bet I was a High School Musical fan.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
Of course.
Yes,
To
you
this
have to
day,
be.
my girls will call Julianna. They call her
Mhm.
Nina, and they'll be like, "Nina, tonight you want to FaceTime and watch High School Musical too?"
And we do.
And they will.
And we
they like
do.
started at the same time.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
my middle daughter is like, "I just love Troy Bolton."
As she should,
She's
because
fine.
she
Good
has
girl.
eyes.
Good girl.
Okay?
I'm like, "Yeah,
and
girl."
she's also a Sharpay girl, which I highly
She
respect.
is.
I can
Yeah,
do that.
she's like, I
Yeah.
don't really get why people think she's mean. I'm like, that's horrifying.
Original Mean Girl, for
Yes.
sure.
But you know what? An icon. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Amen.
What about Hillary Duff?
I
Oh,
love.
yeah.
And she
Are you
had
going to
her
try to go
reunion.
to a concert?
We have tickets.
Shut
Okay, wait.
Amazing.
It's
When I
actually
say
so hard
we-
to see someone living your dream.
I
But
know.
good for you.
I know.
Hang on. No, my best friend. Okay, I'm wearing. You asked me about my dress.
Yes, I am
Yes.
deeply
Flourish and Frills.
obsessed.
My
So
best friend
cute.
Jordan's Boutique. Thank you.
Oh.
Nice plug there. But she texted in the group chat and said, I bought us all tickets. We're going. I said,
Obsessed.
Okay.
Wow.
What a good
We're going.
friend.
I don't even know when it is. Like I
No,
no,
Yeah,
that's
who
fair.
cares? But I've been seeing clips and she's been singing what dreams are made of.
Amen.
I know.
When she did the Sally thing, first of all, I didn't even know the Sally thing was. Like, I didn't know what that song was.
Yeah.
But then whenever she came out, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I know. Are you like already planning your outfit?
Yeah, I should do that. I
You
haven't.
should do that.
It's in June. So I
You
haven't
some
thought that far
time.
ahead.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I should.
But you better lock in. Send us some
Yeah.
pictures.
Okay. I will. Because I had her line, or the Mary Kate and Ashley line from like,
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
and I'm pretty sure she had some clothes
I think she
too.
did.
Oh,
Yeah.
she had to have.
She's done it all.
She should have if she didn't.
That's so true. Oh my gosh. Well, this has been the best time, truly.
Yes.
And the dating world can seem a little bit depressing, but you have really done the work to make it more anti-depressing. We appreciate your contribution to the culture
Yes.
and are excited to see what happens. And I can't wait for you to find my future brother-in-law.
I'm thrilled. I would be honored.
I'm thrilled. What a
to help
gift.
that.
Okay,
Thank you for
love.
having
Well,
me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.